It's Americans like my grandparents who should be celebrated. In Cook County specifically, we have great Italian Americans like Enrico Fermi and Mother Cabrini. But I want to make it quite clear Christopher Columbus cannot and should not be a symbol of Italian American identity.
Cook County right now deciding whether or not to rename Columbus Day to Indigenous Peoples Day. Today, we heard from Italians in favor of changing it.
And here to talk more about that is Gabriel Piemonte with the Italian American Heritage Society Chicago. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Gabriel, as you know, we've heard from a lot of Italian groups in the past vehemently against this change, but you are for it. Explain to us why.
Well, I think there's a sea change happening in the way people think about Christopher Columbus and Italian heritage. And our organization, in some ways, just reflects that. We have about 200 members, lots of other people who follow us on social media and through email newsletters. And the attitude is there's a lot to celebrate about Italian heritage, a lot about our culture that we want to see more in the forefront when we talk about being Italian American. Christopher Columbus, horrible history associated with them, lots of negative things. It's time to move on. It's time to look at Italian heritage and not this one symbol, which is really at this point, at best, a mixed one.
Okay, and do you have any thoughts or ideas about who could be a symbol instead, or who or what could be a symbol instead?
Oh, I think there are many suggestions that people will make. I believe that you just had an excerpt of somebody mentioning Mother Cabrini, who's an extraordinary figure in American history, Italian woman who across the country welcomed immigrants, not just Italian and Italian Americans, over the life of her service, but really just having this kind of open heart for everybody. I think should be a terrific example, but it's the kind of thing you really would want to make. You'd want to ask Italian Americans all over the country and have almost like a kind of consensus reached from state to state or city to city about who they'd like to see replaced. I'd also love to see groups, Italian immigrants as a collective, which is really the story of most of us.
I mean, in your letter that you put out today calling for this change, you talked about how Columbus is known for untold deaths, mutilation, violation, subjugation of indigenous people. What do you think is going to happen here? You're obviously asking Cook County to make a decision on this. When should we expect something, and what do you think might happen?
Well, my understanding of the process for the Board of Commissioners is that there's going to be about a month before they're going to vote on whether or not this is out of committee. I think it's going to really become a competition. We know how politics works, especially politics in Chicago and Cook County. It's going to be a real battle between the Italian Americans who think that Christopher Columbus should stay and that's representing a disrespect to Italian Americans if you remove the day, the statue, what have you, and almost everybody else, to be honest. I mean, there are very few people who think Columbus is just a great guy, but that group includes many Italian Americans. And so we've got to just make the case stronger and louder than those Italian Americans who think that he's just the bee's knees.
One group that has stood up for Columbus Day in the past is the Joint Civic Committee of Italian Americans. I should note that we reached out to them today to get their input on this, and they have not responded to us. But Gabriel, we really appreciate your perspective on this.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.